Hello everyone, I'm Yumu from Susan's family. Today, I'll show you how to make a vest from the Tribute to Art series, named Midsummer Garden. This vest consists of the front and back pieces, the collar, the overall lace trim, the belt and the accessories. First, crochet the front and back pieces, which are identical. Crochet them separately, and then join the shoulders. Here, let's learn the back piece first. Start from foundation chain and work back and forth. It's divided into the body and the shoulder straps. The body has different patterns, so it's divided into section 1, section 2, and section 3. Several stitches will be used, all of which are marked on the charts. I won't list them one by one here. Please watch my demonstration of the crocheting method. Start by crocheting the body section 1. Begin with the foundation chain. Take out the corresponding yarn. The yarn for the sample is chosen randomly. For specific yarn, color scheme and hook size, please refer to the detail page and the paper chart of our product. Hang the yarn. Start with a knot. Then crochet chains. Mind not to crochet too tight. The sample here has fewer chains, mainly for demonstration purposes. That completes the foundation chain. Move on to row 1. Work this row according to the chart from right to left. Chain 1 as the beginning chain for the single crochet. This doesn't count as one stitch. Locate the second to last chain. Pick the back loop and the back ridge, and make one single crochet. Then skip 3 stitches. Work 1 DC2 bobble. First, make 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over. Insert. Pick these 2 strands. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The first stitch is completed. Work another one in the same position. Yarn over. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. The second stitch is completed. Finally, yarn over and draw through once. The DC2 bobble is finished. We'll refer to it as bobble from now on. Chain 2. Work another bobble in the same position. First, make 2 incomplete double crochets. Then, yarn over and draw through once. The bobble is completed. 2 chains. Work another bobble in the same position. Let's take the stitches worked in this position. As a pattern A, skip 3 stitches. Pay attention, the edge stitch is a bit puckered. Don't miss it. Work 1 single crochet. Continue to skip 3 stitches. Work 1 pattern A, which means working 3 bobbles in the same position, separated by 2 chains as a transition. Pattern A is completed. Later, with 3 stitches skipped. Alternate crocheting single crochet and pattern A. Complete this row. The last single crochet lands perfectly on the final chain. That completes row 1. We consider the side with the starting tail on the left as the front side of the piece, that is, the clearer texture side of row 1. Move on to row 2. For this row, read the chart from left to right. Start with 3 chains as the beginning chain, which counts as 1 double crochet, corresponding to the single crochet below. Chain 3 as a transition. Turn the work. In the middle bobble stitch of pattern A, work 1 single crochet. Note that on the back, the stitches are on the upper left. Continue with 3 chains. Work 1 double crochet in the left single crochet. Continue to work single crochets in the middle stitches of pattern A. Double crochets in the single crochets. In between, there are 3 chains as a bridge. Work all the way down this row. That completes row 2. Continue with row 3. Start with 3 chains. Turn the work. Work 1 double crochet in the corresponding double crochet below. Two chains. Work 1 bobble in the same position. Then work single crochet in the left single crochet. Work 1 pattern A in the following double crochet. Alternate crocheting single crochets and pattern A from here on. Complete this row. After the last single crochet is done, work 1 bobble in the beginning chain from the previous row. You can find the 3rd chain from the bottom upwards. Pick these 2 strands to crochet. Continue with 2 chains. Work 1 bobble in the same position. This completes row 3. Move on to row 4. Make 1 chain as beginning chain. Turn your work. Work a single crochet in the first stitch. Chain 3. Crochet according to row 2. End with a single crochet into the double crochet. Pay attention not to crochet incorrectly. Row 4 is done. Below, crochet row 5. Start with 1 chain as beginning chain. Turn your work, pick the stitch and work a single crochet. Then crochet according to row 3. After completing the ending single crochet, row 5 is completed. For the subsequent rows in section 1, follow the method for rows 2 through 5. And continue crocheting in sequence, forming such a staggered pattern. After finishing row 6 of section 1, you can measure the piece. Compare it to the dimensions given in the chart. If there's a significant difference, you need to adjust your tension and recrochet. To avoid affecting the size of the finished product, refer to the chart and crochet all the way to the second to last row of section 1. Now I'll demonstrate the last row using a sample. Start with a chain. Turn your work. Work 1 single crochet in the stitch below. In the left chain space, make 3 single crochets. In the next 2 spaces, work 3 single crochets in each. Work 1 single crochet in the double crochet. In the next 3 spaces, work 3 single crochets in each. Treat the single crochets we've just crocheted as a group. Follow the pattern for the stitch placement in this group. Refer to the chart and finish this row. Check the stitch count when you're done. Fasten off the yarn. Chain 1 to secure. Leave a 5 cm tail and cut off. Pull tight. That completes section 1. Move on to row 1 of section 2. On the front of the piece, join yarn in the first stitch of the previous row. You can make a knot. Draw the loop through. Adjust it. Joining yarn completed. All subsequent yarn joins can be done this way. Chain 3. Then work correspondingly double crochets into each stitch. The tail can be woven in. Also weave in the ending tail. Fasten off the yarn. Row 1 completed. Continue with row 2. Turn your work. Join yarn in the last double crochet of the previous row. Chain 1 as the beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Then, work single crochets correspondingly. The tail can be woven in on the back as much as possible. The last single crochet goes into the beginning chain. Row 2 is completed. Continue with row 3. Chain 2. Turn your work. Work 1 double crochet in the left stitch. Five chains. Note that the chains in section 2 can be worked slightly tighter. Try to keep the width of the piece consistent with section 1. Skip 1 single crochet, work 1 DC3 tog, pick these 3 stitches, and work an incomplete double crochet in each. Yarn over and draw through all the loops once. DC3 tog completed. Continue with 5 chains. Skip 1 stitch, work 1 DC3 tog. Repeat this process to crochet. After completing the final 5 chains, skip 1 stitch, work 1 DC2 tog. First, correspondingly make 2 incomplete double crochets. Yarn over and draw through all the loops once. The DC2 tog is completed. Row 3 is done. Move on to row 4. Start with 3 chains. 2 chains as a transition. Turn the work. Work 1 single crochet in the left chain space. Next, pick these chain spaces and work single crochets respectively, with 5 chains as transitions on both sides. Finish with 2 chains. Work a double crochet in the last stitch. Row 4 is completed. For the following rows 5 to 6, continue working back and forth referring to the chart. After that, crochet the section 2, repeating rows 3 to 6, forming such a pattern. Mind to crochet the chain slightly tight. Try to keep the width consistent from top to bottom. Fasten off the yarn after completing the second to last row. Join yarn on the front for the last row. Fasten off the yarn at the end as well. Everyone, refer to the chart to complete it. That concludes section 2. After completion, Move on to section 3. The method is similar to section 1. For row 1, join yarn into the beginning chain on the front. Pay attention to the marks on the chart for the entry position. Then, continue working back and forth following section 1. And the last row on the back. Everyone, refer to the chart to complete it. That concludes the body section. Finally, let's learn about the shoulder straps. They are divided into left and right. Here refer to when the vest is being worn. Start by crocheting one side of straps, using the yarn of the body. The specific method here is similar to body section 1, with just fewer groups. Refer to the chart for the beginning and ending stitches. Fasten off the yarn when finished. Then place the crocheted strap on the right. Refer to the chart. Join yarn at the corresponding position on the left. Then crochet back and forth. The specific crocheting and joining method were explained before. Refer to the previous demonstration and complete it according to the chart. Fasten off the yarn at the end. That completes the shoulder straps. The back piece has also been explained. The method for the front piece is identical to the back piece. Just crochet another one in the same way. After completing both the front and back pieces, join them at the shoulders. Here, you need to have their back sides facing outwards. Insert into the corresponding positions on the shoulders of both pieces on the back. Work single crochets to join them, with 3 chains in between. The specific number of chains and the entry position for the single crochets can also be adjusted according to preference. For the specific joining method, refer to the following demonstration. Using the right front piece as an example, pay attention. The left and right front pieces refer to the actual left and right when worn. Place the both pieces with the front sides facing each other, while the back should be facing outwards. You can start joining from either side. Overlap and align the shoulders. This sample is the back piece, and this is the right front piece. We'll start from this edge and join all the way up to this double crochet. Here on the back piece is this double crochet. Insert into a few strands at the edges of both pieces. Join the yarn. Chain 1. Work 1 single crochet at the join. Then work 2 to 3 chains. I work 3 here. Skip a small distance. Then insert into a few strands at the edges. Continue with 1 single crochet. This distance is roughly the same as the length of the chains. Make sure the piece doesn't shrink up after you finish crocheting. And when you encounter the yarn strand, weave it in. Joining is working alternately 1 single crochets and 2 to 3 chains. Finish joining this side. Fasten off the yarn when done. You can also join according to your own habit. That concludes the front and back pieces. Next, let's learn about the collar. Crochet in rounds around the neckline formed by the front and back pieces. Switch yarns during the process. Add a bead chain when finished. The new stitches used are slip stitch, SC2 tog, SC3 tog and variant Rev SC. Please watch me demonstrate the specific method. First, crochet round 1. Here I will use a sample for demonstration. There are fewer row numbers and stitches. Mainly focus on demonstrating the method. Join yarn at any spot on the shoulder straps. For the sample, following the chart, locate the corner on one side of the straps. Join yarn in the single crochet on the edge of the row of pattern A. Insert into the stitch. Chain 1. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. One single crochet on the left single crochet edge. 3 single crochets on the bobble edge. And work 2 single crochets on the next side edge. Continue crocheting in this manner all the way down. Here, the number of single crochets can be adjusted as needed. Just ensure that the piece looks neat and flat when finished. Following the chart, complete the side edge of row 3 of the shoulder strap. The row numbers are fewer here. Everyone refer to your actual project. On the side edge of row 2, work 1 single crochet first. Then, in the next 2 single crochets, work 1 SC2 tog. First, correspondingly make 2 incomplete single crochets. Insert into the single crochet stitch on side edge of row 1. Draw the yarn through. The first stitch is done. Continue by inserting into the next stitch. Draw the yarn through. The second stitch is done. Finally, yarn over and draw through once. The SC2 tog is completed. Next, pick these chain spaces. Work 3 single crochets respectively. Now we reach the corner on the other side. In these 2 single crochets, work 1 SC2 tog. First, work 2 incomplete single crochets correspondingly. Finally, yarn over and draw through once. The SC2 tog is completed. Work 1 single crochet in the left double crochet. Continue working corresponding single crochets on the side edge. At the other corners, work SC2 tog similarly. Everyone, crochet the entire round using this method. Finish with a slip stitch, and fasten off the yarn. Round 1 is complete. Move on to round 2. Join the yarn at the entry position of the slip stitch. Make 3 chains. Then pick the stitches and work a double crochet in each. When there is 1 stitch remaining before the SC2 tog, work 1 DC3 tog in these 3 stitches. Continue working corresponding double crochets and decrease at the SC2 tog. Complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch. Round 2 is complete. Now work round 3. Start with a chain. Turn the work. Start from the last stitch of the previous round on the left. Work correspondingly single crochets. When there is 1 stitch remaining before the DC3 tog, work 1 SC3 tog in these 3 stitches. Work an incomplete single crochets in each. Yarn over and draw through all the loops once. The SC3 tog is completed. Continue working correspondingly single crochets and decrease at the corners using this method. Complete this round. Don't miss the stitch at the beginning chain of the previous round. Finish with a slip stitch. Round 3 is complete. Finally, work round 4. Start with a chain. Turn the work. Work 1 variant Rev SC on the right. Insert into the right stitch first. That is, the stitch where the slip stitch was made in the previous round. Draw the yarn through and pull through the loop on the hook. Next, pick 1 strand on the left corner. Work 1 single crochet. A variant Rev SC is completed, hereafter referred to as Rev SC. Insert into the right stitch. Draw the yarn through. Two strands formed on the left like this. Insert into these 2 strands. Work 1 single crochet. Continue with the method used for the second stitch. The initial loop here should not be too loose. Pick these 2 strands on the left and work a single crochet. Repeat this process moving to the right. Continue until there is one stitch remaining before the SC3 tog from the previous round. You've reached the corresponding position. Skip one stitch. Work 1 Rev SC in the SC3 tog stitch. After completing, skip one stitch and continue crocheting. Here, you can adjust the entry position based on the actual situation. Ensure the corner is at a right angle and the piece is flat. Continue working in this manner. Note to skip stitches at the corners. After completing, join with a slip stitch in the approximate position. Leave a 10 cm tail and cut the yarn. Thread the needle. If the connection is not even, you can sew it slightly to make it look neater. Hide the tail. That completes round 4. The collar is also crocheted. Finally, sew on the bead chains. Sew it onto each of the 4 edges of the neckline. You can turn the back side outwards. Take out the bead chain. First, check the edge. If the beads are loose, tie off the threads here to secure it. Take one and thread the needle. Insert it through the other side. Tie a tight knot. Trim off the excess ribbon. Melt the end. Then align the ribbon with the back of the collar. Place the bead chain on the outside. Take a piece of collar yarn from the last round. Thread it into the needle. Sew along the stitches of round 3 of the collar. Secure the yarn on the piece first. When sewing, the stitches can be visible on the front, but not be too long. Secure it along the stitches. Try to make it invisible. Mindfully adjust the position while sewing. After sewing this side, leave a few centimeters and cut off the bead chain. Remove any extra beads. Secure the thread tails. The tails can be tucked following the texture. Deal with the ribbon accordingly. One bead chain is now sewn on. Sew the bead chains on the other sides using the same method. Pay attention to making the corners neatly connected. And the beads are neither too crowded nor too sparse. The sewing method is the same for all. If you run out of yarn, tie off on the back and hide it. Then take another one and continue sewing. Follow this method. and sew the remaining 3 bead chains. The sewing of the bead chains is now explained. The collar is also done. Next, we'll learn about the overall lace trim. Crochet around the outer edges of the front and back pieces counterclockwise. While crocheting, you need to switch yarns. The new stitch used is the TR2 bobble. Let me demonstrate the method. Start by crocheting round 1. Here I use a sample to demonstrate. Begin crocheting from the foundation chain of either the front or back piece. Find the middle single crochet in row 1 of body section 1. Join the yarn at the entry position. Chain 1 to start. Work 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Crochet 3 single crochets in the left chain space. Then, pick stitches and chain spaces to work correspondingly single crochets. In each chain space, work 2 single crochets. In the last chain space, work 3 single crochets. Pick the single crochet. Work 3 single crochets. Next, crochet 2 single crochets at the edge of the double crochet. Crochet 3 single crochets at the next edge. At the single crochet edge, make 1 single crochet. Follow the pattern, referring to the chart to crochet. For the remaining part, refer to the chart and crochet single crochets. The entry positions for the sample are random. After completing the second to last row of the shoulder straps, work 1 single crochet at the joining point. Continue crocheting from the second to last row on this side. When you reach row 1 of body section 1, work 3 single crochets in the single crochet. Then, continue referring to the chart to complete this round. Note that the number of stitches in the middle 2 chain spaces and the edge 2 chain spaces of foundation chain are different. Mindful not to crochet incorrectly. After finishing each edge, you can check the stitch count. There are 3 stitches at each corner. Finish with a slip stitch and fasten off the yarn. Round 1 is complete. Move on to crochet round 2. Join yarn at the entry position of the previous round. Chain 1 as beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet. 2 chains. Skip 2 stitches, then work a single crochet. Continue skipping 2 stitches and working single crochets, with 2 chains in between. At the corners, the single crochet is worked right into the middle stitch of those 3 single crochets. Continue crocheting in this pattern all the way down until finish this round. Mind not to make the chains too tight. Keep the piece flat. Finish with a slip stitch. Round 2 is complete. For the following rounds 3 to 4, continue crocheting in rounds. Pay attention to the corners on round 3. Work 2 double crochets into the same stitch, with 5 chains as a bridge. At the corners on round 4, there are 3 chains. Refer to the chart to complete it. Now I'll demonstrate round 5. First, slip stitch 1 into the left chain space as a transition. Do not tighten. Then pick a stitch and work 1 slip stitch as a transition. Then continue to crochet this round according to the chart. Finish with a slip stitch and fasten off the yarn. Round 5 is complete. Move on to round 6. Join the yarn in the chain space left to the yarn tail. Make 1 chain as beginning chain. Work 3 single crochets into the same space. Chain 2. In the next space, work 2 double crochets, with 5 chains in between. After that, chain 2. In the next space, work 5 single crochets. Continue crocheting in this manner. When you complete the double crochets in the right chain space at the corner, in the left chain space, work symmetrically. Continue following the chart to crochet the entire round. Note that the corners are worked symmetrically. Finally, work 2 single crochets into the starting space. Then, finish with a slip stitch. Round 6 is completed. Next, crochet round 7. Start with a chain. In the slip stitch below, work 1 single crochet. Chain 4. In the left 5 chain space, work 1 TR2 bobble. First, work 2 incomplete treble crochets. Yarn over twice. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. The first stitch is completed. Continue with the second one. Yarn over twice. Insert. Draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat twice. The second stitch is completed. Finally, yarn over and draw through once. The TR2 bobble is crocheted. Continue with 3 chains. In the same space, crochet another TR2 bobble. Start with 2 incomplete treble crochets. Finally, yarn over and draw through once. The TR2 bobble is completed. Continue with 3 chains. In the same space, crochet 2 more TR2 bobble, with 3 chains in between. We consider these 4 TR2 bobble and the chains in between as one group. Move on to 4 chains. In the middle of the 5 single crochets on the left, work 1 single crochet, 4 chains. In the next 5 chain space, crochet another group. That's 4 TR2 bobble, with 3 chains in between. Group completed. Continue working alternately groups and single crochets with 4 chains in between. When you reach the corner, do not crochet single crochets and 4 chains. Crochet a group directly. Continue in this manner. Refer to the chart and crochet. Pay attention not to make mistakes at the corners. Finish with a slip stitch. Round 7 is completed. Finally, crochet round 8. Pick the back loop of the 3 chains on the left. Correspondingly make 3 slip stitches for transition. Then make 1 chain as beginning chain, and work 1 single crochet in the chain space. Work 1 single crochet in the left stitch. 3 single crochets in the chain space. 1 single crochet in the next stitch. 2 single crochets in the next space. Chain 6. Work 1 more single crochet in the last single crochet stitch. Chain 8. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. Chain 6. Continue with 1 single crochet. Crochet 2 single crochets in the same space below. Continue with 1 single crochet in the stitch. 3 single crochets in the chain space. 1 single crochet in the stitch. Work 1 single crochet in the left 4 chain space. We treat the stitches after the beginning chain as a lace trim pattern and continue to crochet this pattern. The corners are slightly different. I'll demonstrate the corner lace trim using a sample. First, work 1 single crochet in the left chain space, then crochet correspondingly single crochets by picking stitches and chain spaces. In the middle chain space of the group below, work 2 single crochets first. Then 6 chains. Work 1 single crochet in the edge of the single crochet. 8 chains. 1 single crochet. 6 chains and 1 single crochet. These 3 single crochets are worked in the same position. Then work 2 single crochets in the same chain space. Continue by working single crochets. There are no chains between the two groups at the corner, so omit these 2 single crochets. Continue by following this method. Refer to the chart to complete this round. Finish with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. Fasten off the yarn. Hide all the tails on the back. This completes round 8. And that concludes the overall lace trim.